Hey guys, as you probably have seen on my Tumblr, as I assume this is where most people will be coming from, I am going to be doing a video ranking the most popular ships of Snowpiercer, the 2020 TV show. I got the most popular ships of AO3. These are the most written for, and they are mentioned more or less in the same order of their popularity, though I have switched a couple of them around. Yeah, it's pretty incoherent and it's mostly just my own thoughts, but no hate to anyone in this video, and this is just my own opinion. You can disagree with it civilly or whatever. This is just my own opinion. I don't speak for anyone who's in this fandom, and I certainly don't speak for anyone that I happen to mention in this video, so just enjoy it and take most of it with a really large grain of salt. First up, we have Melanie and Bennett. This relationship in canon is just, I don't get the writing of it at all. It just seems like the writers keep flip-flopping between how they want this relationship to be played. Are they just friends with benefits who are having sex with each other for stress relief? Are they soulmates brought together and held together by the train? The fact that Ben was never a hallucination of Melanie's when she was in the research station seemed odd to me. Like, that whole episode with Emmy bait, we all know that. You're telling me they couldn't drop a little Ben in there for the feels? Did Edo Goldberg not want to go out there and spend time in the cold to film scenes? Did they do that? I don't know. What's up with that? And as much as I think they're super cute together, it's all very hot and cold. I'm not really sure where the writers want this relationship to go. We didn't get a hallucination of him. We didn't get him grieving Melanie, so I guess that's that. It's just disappointing how it went, especially the Big Alice reveal. It seems so incredibly out of character for Ben. I know that's been talked about to death, so I won't go on about it, but it feels like the writers bent this relationship to suit their vision of the plot, rather than having it ebb and flow naturally and letting the plot be decided by their relationship in part. Because come on, it came so far out of left field. I worry that people will think I don't care about this ship, and I actually do, quite a bit. It wouldn't disappoint me if I didn't care about it this much. I hope we get to see Ben actually grieving Melanie next season, and maybe even see them get reunited. Much respect to Mel Ben writers on AO3. You are doing what the TNT writers never could, actually getting me invested in this ship. However, for me, writing Mel Ben fics, they're just good for if I want Melanie to be happy with no strings attached. They just genuinely love each other, and I love seeing that, and I love writing it. I do so hope that Ben gets Melanie back. I would trade anyone in the show except Audrey, Harvey, and Ruth for Melanie. That's the solid truth. Everyone knows that Mel Audrey is pretty much my reason for existing since October 2020. Anyone who's read my fics knows that I mainline this ship every single fucking day. Let's just forget about season 2 Audrey for the minute. The interactions we got between them in the first season were golden. The line, "You've become callous doing Wilford's bidding," lives in my mind rent free. Say nothing of the therapy scene in Season 1, Episode 10, which is probably the best scene in the whole show. It's a shame because the therapy scene set up a really fun dynamic for them that the writers just never followed through on. Melanie's all closed off and is struggling with never having revealed a trauma to anyone. Audrey is the best at drawing that trauma stuff out. Then they could have become closer, sharing their respective paths. This obviously makes no sense with Wilford being around, but we're gonna forget about him, I think. I don't even know how to explain it though. I'm just so drawn to the ship. It also helped that JC and Lena Hall are amazing at acting their respective characters. Lena especially did a great job with Audrey in the second season, even if I hated where the character went. It feels like in the first season they meant to have some development between the two, which would have been built on in the next season, but it's gone now, clearly. It was just so intriguing. If you all will cast your mind back, you'll know that we didn't know Audrey's past. We didn't know how this dynamic came to be. If I talk more, I'll just get mad at how much this ship was wasted. At least we have fanfiction to do things with, right? Also, I have many fond memories of the ship just because it's what it got me and my best friend Anna to be friends. Hi Anna, I know you're watching! Might as well say hi to any other Annas in the audience. Yeah, we kept simping over Lena Hall and JC in our private chat. It's great. You just need someone to simp with, or else shipping just loses all of its fun. And even if both Melanie and Audrey die, at least I'll still have that. I know I act like Mel Audrey is my favourite ship, but that's actually incorrect. They are my second favourite, because I ship Audrey with me. Cannot wait to see what they do with Audrey in the third season. Okay, I know that the ship has a lot of devoted fans out there. I don't know who they are because I don't run with them, but I find the ship to be rather uninteresting. I get why people like it, and I did love how they sort of became partners in crime during the second season. Their friendship was really good, but I would have liked their potential romantic relationship more had they actually hated each other for a little more time. They would have made such a good slow burner. Did they're totally best friends by the beginning of season 2. Maybe I misread their interaction. I don't know. I feel like their relationship started on way too much subterfuge and distrust to actually grow into something properly romantic. I know that sounds hypocritical, but you wanted my opinions. It's why you're here, isn't it? Their early days of interacting were hilarious to me, though. Remember Melanie practically yelling at him that Wilford is sleeping 4 hours a night just to keep the goddamn heat on? That was such an obvious tell, and Layton picks up on it. We stan a king. And then she drugs him because, of course. I just watched that scene and was like, girl, that's sake. That's not easy to make anymore, and you're wasting it by drugging him? Like, Jinju should have brawled with her over that alone. Just give him some water or some shit. Like, it's been 7 years. You really think Layton is gonna know what genuine sake tastes like? Top it off with the genuine stuff and make him slug it down. Girl, you are making this way harder than it needs to be. The fics about Mel and Layton are top tier though. I read them even though I don't ship them because y'all are talented. I even wrote a Mel and Layton fic and I appreciate how suited to domesticity they are. You have a nice little fic with Melanie stealing his shirt and then they cuddle and you feel all nice about it. You don't get that from any other ship except maybe Mel Ben. At least I know if I want some cute little fluffy fic that says everything it needs to say in 600 words, I can go there. Peace out, Mel Layton writers. Having really hated Lilah in the first season, like most everyone did, I was under the impression that this ship would just be one that I'd have to pass by on my Tumblr timeline to get to the shit that I like. I'm looking at you, one trained Snowpiercer. But then I thought it was really cute. I don't know what to tell you. However, I do really dislike the idea of it in canon. The writers had gone on a bend and tried to pull in enemies to lovers with Lilah and Melanie. I definitely would not be looking on it so fondly now, unless they did a non-con thing, which would make thematic sense even though I hate to see Melanie hurt in any way, so they wouldn't have been able to win with that. Again, I feel like Lilah is one of Melanie's few intellectual equals, even though she's more soft-skilled than hard-skilled. They complement each other very well. Even in the first season, you can tell that they were matched nicely, and then Lilah died, so that was the end of that. I almost resent liking them, just because by all rights they shouldn't be well suited and we shouldn't like seeing them together. I mean, Lilah's a raging bitch through all the time that we see her on screen. At least in most of these ships the characters somewhat like each other. Even in Mel Layton where one literally drugged the other, there's still some working relationship there. Here, there's not much to go on. Melanie and Lilah are locked in a pretty antagonistic fight for most of the season until the ladder gets frozen. And, if it wasn't for Lilah making her life harder at every turn, Melanie might not have been so stressed. And sorry to any Lilah stands in the audience. As much as I now like Mel Lilah, I have to say they aren't the most versatile ship when it comes to actually writing fanfiction about them. They aren't one where you can write them into various situations and have it work out fine because one or both of them will inevitably turn out of character. If we're being honest, I love putting all my weird fantasies onto them, especially body worship. Lilah seems like the sort of person who would be super freaky in private, and it feels weird to have all that stuff in another ship. They aren't versatile, but it's easy to challenge myself writing them because they are a challenging ship. Like, imagine reading a coffee shop AU or college AU with Mel Lilah. Would that be something you'd be into? Would anyone be able to write that well? I'm not sure. Let me know. Mel Ruth is kind of like my discount Mel Lilah ship in the way that I felt about it at first. In season 1, they have a really odd relationship that's not really conducive to romance that much. Melanie is hiding a big secret from Ruth, and Ruth is trying to toe the line between Grey and the Folgers as they try to gain control of the train. I'm so glad Grey died, by the way, because I don't even want to think about what it would have been like had Ruth's storyline been shackled to his a moment longer. Hashtag not our Ruth. Like that title card? Everyone keeps forgetting that I made that hashtag a thing. Unlike Gretchen Weiner, I did make fetch happen. I also just love how much we've headcanoned about this ship, like on Tumblr and in our own fan spaces, like the fact that Ruth is taller than Melanie and Melanie's always the little spoon, or they live together in Ruth's apartment or something like that, or even the best one, that Ruth is a simp. That one is the best. I'm not gonna even argue against that because I think it's 100% true. Simp Ruth train, welcome aboard. It's just amazing. But now that I'm writing this script, I realize how much embarrassing stuff I said about them when I was trying to write fics for them and stuff. It's not great. Mel Ruth is, to me, a prompt ship. You know, I struggle to come up with ideas for them, so anytime someone gives me a prompt with no ship, I'm like, thank God, I can fill my Mel Ruth quota for the month. I like writing them, I like putting them in fics, I like exploring their relationship. I just struggle to do it without a prompt to springboard off of. Our two favourite engineers! Ben stands, don't dox me. I have a lot of extremely complex feelings about these two. If it was purely up to me, I'd just wax on about nice Wilford and how much I'd love for him to throw me into a sink, but I don't think that's what you'll want, or is it? Anyway, I think I'm meant to be talking about show Wilford, our favourite little bitch man. Oh boy, the show did not do this boy well. I could rant about this guy for days. In fact, I did once. Did you all like that? Forget about it though, I'm meant to be talking about Wilford. In the show, they seem to have a lot of history which is barely touched on, whatever. I hope we get to see it next season. Like, they must have banged at least once. You don't get that kind of tension without there being some sexual component to it. Of course, that's super skeevy, him picking her up when she was 17 and all. Mel Wilford was great when it, wasn't a healthy relationship. Manipulation, gaslighting, sexual abuse, you name it, Joe has probably done it at some point. I love Melanie. I want her to be safe and happy with someone who treats her right, and you don't get that from Wilford. But then I just don't like the relationship as well because it's so mean. And I understand that this is probably what fans of the ship want out of it, to be fair, because when you strip away Wilford's meanness, you're not left with much. I guess if you wanted a nice, fulfilling relationship with this guy, you just get a himbo with a British accent, so Sean Bean, basically. It's like declawing a cat. They need to make Wilford a little more fleshed out because right now, all he has going for him is his terrible personality, and it's like, okay, those are the cold, hard facts. Where is the man? Where is Joe? What can I know about him? What happened in his life before? I need to know this shit. I don't care who tells me that. I don't care if it's him. I don't care if it's Melanie or even one of the other engineers. I just need to know what this guy is like and what their history was. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed my opinions on all these random popular ships. I know I'm just one writer out of many for this fandom, so I don't presume to speak for the entire fandom, but yeah, that's what I think about them. Listening back to it, it's kind of a bit incoherent. I had a script. I promise I had a script, but I kind of went off it a lot. I just have a lot of feelings about these guys, and so I just say whatever I want. If you enjoyed it, great. If you didn't, well, that's just how it is. I'm glad I made this video anyway. Peace out.